used his birthday trip to meet my secret lover. He canceled my return flight and vanished. First of all, let me just say, I know everyone says this in their posts. Like, everyone. But I genuinely never thought I'd be the one typing out a story like this. Not in a million years. I swear this isn't one of those haha oops here I go situations. I mean it when I say I never actually pictured myself posting something personal here. Ever. I'm not the type to air out my shit online. Hell, I'm not even the type to post at all. I've been a Reddit lurker for years, reading AIDA posts, relationship drama, petty revenge stuff. You name it. It's been my little escape, my guilty pleasure. But this, posting about my own life, my own fuck-up, nah, that was never supposed to be me. Yet here I am. And no, I'm not here looking for a pity party. I don't expect a wave of comforting words or a hug in comment form. I'm just fucked. I don't even know how else to describe it. I'm confused as hell. My brain feels like scrambled eggs. I need to vent, unload, maybe scream into the void a little. My ex-boyfriend, let's call him Ray, all right? Ray and I dated for about 4 years. He's 33 and I'm 32. We had our fair share of ups and downs like any couple, but in general, we were good, really. He was a great person, and that's where it gets tricky. Because when you have someone who's genuinely a good person, it's so easy to start wondering, why the hell can't I be happy? Now I know how fucking bad this is going to sound. Trust me, I know, but I kinda settled for Ray. God, even typing that makes my stomach turn. It feels disgusting to say. Like, what kind of person admits they settled for someone who did nothing but love them? But that's the truth. I hate that it's true. I hate myself for it. But yeah, I settled. Not because Ray isn't amazing, not because he doesn't deserve love, but because I was still tangled up in someone else when he came into my life. Before Ray, there was someone else, my ex. Let's just call him Jay for the sake of clarity. Jay and I were together since high school. He was my first everything, first kiss, first heartbreak, first real love. You know how people say you never forget your first love? Yeah. I don't care how cheesy that sounds. It's true. And Jay, he was unforgettable in all the wrong and right ways. He was wild, a little too wild. Even back when we were teenagers, he was in and out of juvie for stupid shit. Fights, stealing, stupid impulsive things. And yet, I was obsessed. I know how that sounds, believe me, but when you're young and dumb, a guy like that doesn't look like a red flag. He looks like an adventure. He looks exciting. And of course, I thought I could fix him. Classic, right? All through high school, into college, I kept thinking he'd change. I was so sure he'd grow up, calm down, become the man I needed. But the truth is, some people never grow up. Some people don't change just because you love them hard enough. And eventually, after so many broken promises and more cheating than I care to admit, I had to be real with myself. If I wanted something real, something stable, I couldn't stay on that roller coaster. I had to get off, and it damn near broke me. So I cut it off. That was the end of me and Jay, and about a year later, I met Ray. Ray was safe, and that might sound boring, but at the time, safe felt like what I needed. He was all the things Jay wasn't, and that was the thing. I knew Ray was good for me. Everyone around me said it too. He's a keeper. He's such a good guy. You're so lucky to have him. And I was lucky. And it's not that I didn't love Ray. I do. I did. But it wasn't that wild, heart-racing, lose-your-mind kind of love. It wasn't obsessive. It wasn't passionate. It wasn't whatever that messy thing was I had with Jay. And maybe that says more about me than it does about Ray. But there it is. There's always been this dull ache in the back of my mind, like something's missing. It's not fair, to him or to me, but it's the truth. I tried to force myself to feel more, to be more into it. I thought maybe over time the deep love would come, but it never did. Not the way it came with Jay. And that's where the real problem started. Because that little ache I kept trying to ignore, that something's missing feeling that used to creep in, yeah, it caught up to me, hard. And it started in the most ridiculous, tiny way. Just a fucking message. That's it. A goddamn DM on Instagram. A message from Jay. The ex. That ex. The one I hadn't seen or talked to in forever. I just stared at the screen. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? After all this time? After all the chaos? All the trauma? All the healing? All the pretending I was fine? After finally getting my life on track? Dating, stable, good job, bills paid, boyfriend who actually gave a shit, and now you want to pop back up? His message was short, just, "Hey, saw your picture. You look good. Hope you're doing okay." That's it. That's literally all it fucking took. I should have ignored it. I know that. I should have hit delete and gone to make dinner like nothing happened. But of course, I messaged him back. I told myself it was just for closure. Yeah, right. I told myself it was harmless. Just catching up, seeing where life had taken him, get the whole what if out of my system and then close the chapter for good. What a fucking joke. Because once that door cracked open, it didn't just stay open. It got kicked wide the hell open. We started talking more. First, just a few texts, then more. Then it became daily. Texts turned into late night calls. Calls turned into FaceTimes. We'd talk for hours about dumb shit, deep shit, everything in between. And it was like no time had passed. We were flirting, and I told myself it was okay because it was online. I started waiting for his messages like a fucking addict. This time he said all the right fucking things. You know the lines. I've changed. You were always the one that got away. I was young and stupid. I fucked it up back then, but if I could go back, I'd do everything differently. Yap, all that smooth talking bullshit. But the worst part, I believed him. Yeah, I fucking believed him. Ate that shit up like it was candy after a diet. I knew it was probably just talk, same old Jay spinning stories and charming his way back into my head. But it didn't matter, it felt good. So yeah, I started spiraling. I started doing shit I swore I'd never do. Sneaking around like some dumb fucking teenager with a crush. Deleting texts, locking my phone, changing my password, keeping it face down at all times. Watching the volume so no notification popped up that could ruin me. All the damn signs, like textbook signs. But I still tried to spin it in my head like it wasn't that bad. Like I wasn't actually doing anything wrong. It's just emotional, I told myself. It's closure. Closure my ass. And you know what made it easier to keep lying to myself? Jay wasn't even here. He didn't live in the same country as us. So, technically, I wasn't cheating, right? That was the shit I fed myself to sleep at night. But here's where it started going downhill. Ray's birthday trip was coming up. His 33rd, and he was hyped. This man had been planning it for months, booking the Airbnb, picking out spots to visit, even looking up fun little couple activities we could do together. Last year we didn't really get to celebrate. Life got in the way, work, bills, schedules, stress. So this year he wanted to go big, do something special, make memories. Now at first, when Ray told me where he wanted to go for his birthday, I gotta be honest, I wasn't impressed. Hell, I was bored just hearing it. He wanted to go to the United Kingdom. Yep, the fucking UK. I was like, really? That's it? That's what's getting you hyped? Ray, bless his heart, is a total nerd, a full-on history geek. Like, give that man a castle, a museum, or a fucking cobblestone street, and he'll be walking around with the biggest smile on his face. The UK had been one of those bucket list spots for him forever. He'd been talking about it since we started dating, how he wanted to see the Tower of London, explore Edinburgh, visit all these old battlefields or whatever. And me, I just didn't get it. It's the UK. Like, okay? It's rainy, gray, expensive, and I don't give a shit about Queen Whoever or old-ass castles. No offense to anyone from there, but I just didn't care. It didn't sound like a vibe. I wanted beaches, cocktails, warm weather, something fun and sexy and spontaneous, not raincoats and guided fucking tours. But I didn't complain too much, at least not at first, because it was his birthday. It felt fair that he got to pick, especially since, let's be honest, I usually called the shots when it came to our vacations. 9 times out of 10, it was my idea, my dream spot, my itinerary. So this time, I owed him one. Let him have this boring little UK fantasy, even though I was vocal, very vocal, about how stupid I thought it was. And then, I remembered that France was close to the UK, and Jay lives in fucking France. And France is right next door to the UK, like literally. Just a quick-ass flight away, 2 hours tops. People commute for work between those places. It's nothing. Suddenly, I wasn't dragging my feet about this trip anymore. I wasn't rolling my eyes. I wasn't sighing every time Ray brought it up. Oh no, I was excited. I was fucking thrilled. My whole mood flipped like a damn switch. Because in my mind, it was no longer just Ray's boring birthday trip. It was my chance. My golden little opportunity. Jay was excited too. Of course he was. The moment I told him I'd be in the UK, he was all in. We started tossing around ideas, checking flights, figuring out where we could meet, when, how long. I told myself it was just a hangout. You know, see an old friend, catch up, maybe laugh about the past, feel a little closure-y, and then bounce. I even convinced myself I'd go in, fly there, see him for a few hours, have coffee or whatever, and then just fly right back like nothing happened. But let's be honest, I think deep down, I knew that wasn't going to be it. I fucking knew it. From the second I started looking up cheap flights to Paris, I knew I was lying to myself. My stomach was already in knots, my hands were shaking like I'd done something illegal, and that was before I even booked the damn flight. I didn't tell Ray, obviously, not a damn word. I mean, what was I supposed to say? Hey babe, happy early birthday, by the way. While we're in Europe, I'm just gonna hop over to another country for a day and meet up with my ex, who I never really got over, and who used to cheat on me but somehow still makes my knees weak. Yeah, no. That conversation wasn't happening. I told myself I wasn't telling him because I didn't want to overcomplicate things, that I didn't want to ruin his birthday, that I didn't want to bum him out or make things weird, like I was doing him a favor by lying through my teeth. Isn't that twisted? But the truth? The real truth? I didn't tell Ray because I didn't want to get called out. I didn't want to have to explain myself. I didn't want to hear how stupid it sounded out loud, because it did sound stupid and shady and sneaky because it was. It made no fucking sense, and I knew that. But I was already so far down the rabbit hole, lying to myself, covering my tracks, pretending this was still some harmless little thing. I couldn't stop. Then the trip came. Ray's birthday trip finally rolled around. We landed in London, and I remember looking out the plane window thinking, damn, I'm actually about to pull this off. It was supposed to be 5 days, just 5 days. Easy, right? 5 days of pretending like I wasn't lying through my teeth. So for the first 2 days, I played the part. I stuck with Ray, did the coupley tourist thing. We hit up the British Museum, took pictures by Big Ben, got caught in the rain like the cliché tourists we were. I even let him drag me to some ancient-ass castle ruins because history nerd heaven, right? I was bored as hell, but I smiled through it. Because as much as I had one foot already out the door mentally, I didn't want to be that person who just ditched him the moment we touched down. That would have been too cruel, even for me. I told myself I had to at least give him that. A couple days. It was his birthday trip after all. And he was so happy, like glowing. His eyes lit up talking about old kings and wars and whatever else I wasn't paying attention to. He looked like a kid at Christmas. And yeah, I felt like shit, but not enough to stop, obviously. By day 3, I had my excuse locked and loaded. I told him I wanted to go out and explore by myself, just for the day. I want to see the city through my own eyes, or some poetic crap like that. I said I just wanted some solo adventure time. And Ray, sweet trusting Ray, he bought it, no questions. Just smiled and said, that makes sense. He even offered me his charger and told me to take lots of pictures, because he knew I hadn't really been into this whole UK thing. He'd caught all the little sighs, the sarcasm, the lack of enthusiasm. So to him, it made total sense that I'd want to go off on my own and find something to actually enjoy. He had no idea I was packing a day bag to hop on a damn flight to Paris. I packed everything I needed into my handbag, just the essentials, nothing that would make it obvious. A change of clothes, some makeup, perfume, my passport, shit like that. Then I got into a Bolt heading for the airport. It was all way too damn easy. Easy and stupid. Suspiciously smooth. Almost like the universe was enabling my dumbass decisions. 2 hours later, I was stepping off a plane in Paris. Jay was already waiting for me at the airport. But I still told myself this was just catching up. Old friends reconnecting. No big deal. Delusional. Like full-on world-class delusion. But I clung to that lie like a damn life vest. He took me straight to his place. We talked a little on the way there. Casual, light flirting, some jokes. You know how it goes. But the moment we stepped inside his apartment and the door clicked shut behind us, it was a wrap. We had sex. Multiple times. I cheated. Not my proudest fucking moment. Not even close. But I wasn't thinking about guilt. Or maybe I was. I just pushed it so far back into my brain that it didn't even register. I spent most of the day with him, and then, just like that, I was on another damn flight heading back to the UK. Back to Ray. I landed feeling smug as hell. Thought I had everything under control. Thought I pulled it off like some secret agent or some shit. No signs, no evidence, no drama. Just in and out, nobody the wiser. Ray didn't suspect a damn thing. At least, that's what I believed. I walked in, gave him a kiss, asked him how his day went like I wasn't just in another country getting railed by someone else. He smiled, told me all about the places he visited, the nerdy things he'd discovered, and I just nodded, smiled, played the part, like nothing had changed, like I wasn't a liar and a cheat. So the next day rolls around and I'm thinking, all right, cool. Ray and I are going to go sightseeing or do something cute and touristy together, like normal couples do when they're on vacation. I was already prepping myself to pretend I gave a shit about castles or some medieval-ass building he probably bookmarked on Google Maps. But surprise, he refuses. Straight up tells me he's going out sightseeing without me. Says he's got this whole little itinerary planned, but that I'd be bored out of my mind tagging along. And he actually says that it'd be better if I just did my own thing so I don't ruin the vibe with my sarcastic comments and dramatic sighs. Like, damn, okay? I mean, he wasn't wrong, but damn. I probably should have clocked that as a red flag right there. But nope, I just nodded along like an idiot and told myself it was fine. Totally normal. He was just being considerate, right? Just looking out for my comfort. He probably didn't want to drag me along to look at rocks and plaques and old-ass buildings. So I agreed. We did our little have a good day thing and split. I even left the hotel room before him, thinking I was doing the adult, independent woman thing or whatever. I wandered around the city, hit a few of those TikTok famous spots, nothing major, just those aesthetic corners of the UK that influencers swear are hidden gems. Then I figured, why not get my nails done? I had time to kill and no real plans. It's not like I'd been dying to visit the UK anyway. I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was his trip, remember? So I pulled up Google, found this cute little salon with great reviews, booked a last-minute slot, and treated myself. Got my nails done. Paid. By the time I left, it was already edging into early evening. The sky was doing that gloomy British thing where it looks like it might rain but never actually does. So I decided to head back to the hotel, see if Ray was back, maybe freshen up before dinner or whatever. The moment I stepped into that hotel room, shit was off, like immediately. You know when something just doesn't feel right? Yeah, that. Vibes were off as hell. And then I noticed it. Ray's things were gone, like gone. Not a jacket, not a backpack, not his toothbrush, nothing. His side of the closet, empty. His suitcase, vanished. Like he had been surgically removed from the damn room. But my stuff, still there. All neat and untouched, like someone had gone out of their way not to mess with it. My stomach did a little flip right then. You know that feeling when your heart drops and your brain's still trying to gaslight you into thinking everything's fine? So I first tried calling Ray, but it wouldn't even connect. Just straight up silence, no ringing, no voicemail, nothing. It felt like my stomach dropped straight to my feet. I was full on panicking. I mean, can you even imagine? I'm standing there staring at my phone, wondering what the hell is happening. My brain was going in circles, I didn't even know what to think. Actually, maybe I did know what was going on, but I didn't want to admit it. I didn't want to accept it. So I tried to calm myself down. I told myself, okay, just go to bed, get some sleep, and you'll figure it out later. Classic, right? You're panicking, so you try to sleep it off. But honestly, I barely slept. My mind was racing, trying to figure out what the hell was going on and why Ray was acting like this. I kept telling myself maybe it was a mistake, maybe everything would be fine, maybe Ray was just having a meltdown and he'd get over it. I woke up the next morning, I grabbed my phone, hoping to see a message from Ray, something, anything, that would make this feel less like a nightmare. But nope, what I saw was way worse. Ray had blocked me, straight up blocked me. No call, no message, no nothing. He had also left me a message that shattered whatever last bit of hope I had left. It was from Ray, and it was clear. He knew. He knew about me and Jay. He knew I had used his goddamn birthday trip as an excuse to run off to France and see Jay. He told me he was disappointed. He said he was disgusted. He said he was done, just like that. He didn't even finish the trip, didn't even stick around for the rest of the one day remaining. He left. And to top it off, he'd canceled my return flight. I was on my own. Find your own way home, he said. I swear to God, I thought I was going to pass out right then and there. My heart was beating so fast, my mind was screaming, but I couldn't even process what the hell was happening. I was full on panicking, okay? I mean, this was no longer just some stupid mistake. This was a disaster. I broke down, full on sobbing. I couldn't stop crying. My hands were shaking as I tried to figure out what to do. My chest felt tight, like I couldn't breathe. I felt lost, completely lost. All I could do was pray. I was praying begging that maybe, just maybe, Ray would have some change of heart, unblock me, and we could fix this. Eventually, the panic started to subside a little. I realized that freaking out wasn't going to fix anything. If I wanted Ray to even think about unblocking me or taking me back, I needed to do something. I needed to apologize. And not some half-assed over-the-phone apology either. No, I had to go to him, in person. I needed to face him, tell him how sorry I was for what I did, and hope, pray, that he would listen. But there was one tiny little problem. I was stuck in the UK. The trip was supposed to be a 5-day thing, and there was just 1 day left. I was running out of time, and the longer I stayed here, the harder it was going to be to fix anything. So the first person I reached out to was Jay. I was hoping that, maybe, just maybe, he could help me out with a little cash for a return flight. I mean, he was partially responsible for why I was in this mess to begin with, right? It made sense for him to help me out. But of course, Jay being Jay, he let me down. I mean, what the hell was I expecting, honestly? Jay's always been a scumbag. He didn't have any money to lend me, and he wasn't even apologetic about it. In fact, he didn't even seem to care that I was stuck. Like, how much more of a shitbag can you be? It was like a slap in the face, but I wasn't exactly surprised. I should have known better. Jay had never been the kind of guy you could count on. He was always about himself. So, with no other choice, I had to turn to my parents. I didn't have any friends I could ask. I mean, let's be real here. If I asked my friends for money, I'd be lucky to even get a good luck text, let alone anything useful. So I swallowed my pride and went to my parents. They were, of course, shocked when I told them I needed money for a return flight, and they wanted to know why, and I couldn't avoid it, not anymore. I couldn't lie, they would eventually find out, and that would make things worse. So I told them the truth. I told them that I cheated. I told them about Jay, about the trip, about everything. It felt like a weight was pressing down on my chest as I spoke, like I was suffocating on my own words. They were extremely disappointed, like I could feel their disappointment through the phone. It was painful. I expected them to yell, to be angry, but they didn't. They were just disappointed. And that hurt more than anything. But despite their disappointment, they sent me the money for the return ticket. I guess, in the end, they didn't want me stranded in the UK, no matter what a mess I'd made of everything. I didn't feel good about it, but at least I was getting the chance to go home, to give me the shot I needed to face Ray, to apologize. The next day, I hopped on a flight back home. It wasn't a pleasant flight. There was no sense of excitement, no relief, just a pit in my stomach the whole way. All I could think about was getting back to Ray, getting to him before I completely lost my chance. When I landed, I grabbed a cab straight to his place. I didn't even waste any time. But when I got there, man, it was like stepping into a ghost town. The apartment was dead silent, nothing like the lively place I remembered. It was empty, completely empty. I just stood there for a second, staring at the place. I swear no words can really capture the shock I felt. How? How did he move out so fast? In just the 2 days he'd been back home before me, he packed up everything and left? It was like he was gone without a trace. I couldn't even process it. I walked through the apartment, checking the rooms, even though I already knew there was no point. No clothes, no furniture, and I swear I had no idea what to do. It was like someone had ripped the floor out from under me. Everything felt unreal, like some cruel joke. I just stood there for a minute, staring at the bare walls, trying to understand what had happened. Then I pulled myself together. I had to get answers, and the first place I turned was our mutual friends. I started calling them one by one, hoping someone knew where Ray had gone, but of course no one had any clue. Or maybe they didn't want to tell me. Either way, I wasn't getting anything. Not a single person admitted knowing where he was, not even a hint. They were all evasive, all of them giving me the same lame excuse. I haven't seen him, I don't know where he went. It was frustrating as hell, but the worst was yet to come. I reached out to his mom. I didn't want to. We'd never really gotten along, and I knew this was going to be awkward as hell. But what else could I do? It had been 2 days, and I couldn't take the silence anymore. I needed to find him. I had to know if there was even a chance of fixing things, or if I was just screwed. When I called, to my surprise, she said she knew exactly where he was, but she wasn't going to tell me, not even a little hint. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. Her voice was calm, almost icy, like she was happy about the situation. She said that Ray needed time, that he was done with me, and I should just leave him alone. That's when I realized this was bigger than just a fight. This was something much deeper, something Ray had made up his mind about. I begged her to tell me where he was, but she wouldn't budge. She was as stubborn as a rock. And honestly, I didn't know what hurt more, her refusal to help, or the fact that Ray hadn't even reached out to me to say anything. Not a word. For days after that, I cried myself to sleep, hoping, praying that maybe he'd unblock me, that maybe we could talk it out. But each day there was nothing. No sign of Ray, no word from him. I kept thinking about that empty apartment, how quickly he'd moved out, how quickly he'd shut me out of his life. I really wish I could say that after all of that, Ray finally reached out to me. Like, I wish I could tell you that he called me up, wanting to talk, wanting to forgive me, wanting to fix things. But honestly, that didn't happen. As much as I hoped for it, as much as I begged the universe for it, it just didn't happen. Ray straight up vanished, like poof, gone, and I'm not even exaggerating. It was like he'd never existed. I kept reaching out to everyone we knew, thinking maybe someone would know where he was, right? But no, they all stuck to their story. I don't know where he is. They lied about everything. They lied about not knowing where his new apartment was, about not having heard from him. At some point, I started to feel like I was losing my mind. His family? They shut me down too. His mom wouldn't even acknowledge that I existed, and she definitely wasn't going to tell me where he was. So it's like he just disappeared off the face of the earth, and I couldn't find a trace of him anywhere. And let me tell you, that was rough. Because Ray wasn't the type of guy to go into an office or a workplace. He worked from home. 99% of the time, he was at home. So there was no office I could go show up at. No place where I could make a scene and try to get him to talk to me. There was nothing. Ray was just gone, and I couldn't track him down no matter how hard I tried. It felt like I was chasing a ghost, and it was maddening. It was so damn hard to move on from that. I mean, it's still hard, honestly. I don't even think I've fully moved on. I'm just here, existing, trying to get through my days. Everything after that felt like a downward spiral. It's like I literally had a glow down after Ray ghosted me. I got demoted at work, which honestly felt like a punch to the gut. I lost focus on everything, and I messed up my relationship with my parents, too. Not that we had the best relationship to begin with, but they looked at Ray like he was the only good thing I had going for me. And once that was gone, so were they. I pretty much ruined the last connection I had with them. And then there were the mutual friends. God, they all distanced themselves from me. I mean, I didn't even have anyone to lean on at that point. They were all going on with their lives, leaving me behind. It felt like I was the one being abandoned, and it wasn't even my fault. But who am I kidding? I know why they pulled away. They didn't want to be associated with someone who fucked up so royally. It's hard to blame them. So, yeah, I was pretty much alone. And I'm posting this because, honestly, I don't even know why. Maybe I'm hoping by sharing this, by getting it out in the open, it'll help lift the weight that's been crushing me. I just need some kind of relief. I've been carrying this guilt around for so long, and I don't know how to make it better. Maybe I'm hoping someone out there will read this and get it, or at least offer some advice, or just something. Because honestly, I haven't been the same person since Ray. I regret everything with Jay. I fucking regret it. That whole thing was such a stupid mistake. I blocked the fucker and won't be unblocking him. It was a mistake, the biggest mistake of my life. If I could go back, I would do anything to change it. I'd erase it from existence if I could. Ray didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve him. I just wish I could go back, fix all the shit I ruined, and not make that stupid mistake. But I can't. And that's what fucking kills me. I guess I was just feeling like doing a little confessional tonight. You know, just getting everything off my chest for once. I've been holding on to this shit for so long, and I just need to say it out loud. Or, well, type it out, I guess. It's like there's this pressure building up inside of me, and every day it gets harder to keep it all in. I don't know who I am anymore, and I don't know how to fix myself. I've spent too much time pretending I'm okay when I'm just not. And the thing is, I've convinced myself that if I keep acting like everything's fine, it'll eventually be fine. But it's not. And I think that's why I spilled all of that out. I needed to admit to myself and to whoever's reading this that I'm not fine, that I'm hurting, and that I've made mistakes that I can't just sweep under the rug anymore.